and so send on a say, or think for Fianchi or be sending back. Until that day now, be sending his you know, and as I didn't and be phone.
As an only child, Kawe's situation deeply troubled her mother. Adoble reported the case to the Achim Asafo police station, but no action has been taken.
I say, me find channel. Me twice we and me hear phone ma. Me ban wo twa ne nufu say. Oyin Italian no try. Teacher ne bisa say, on twa naked no send no. I no trust it send teacher no. Back no so no or say friend is a danger or say on twa na say and so send na akwala say. Or think for Fianchi or be sending back. Until that day now, or be sending his you know, and as I didn't and be phone.
Akosia, a 15-year-old, juggles caring for her 6-month-old baby while heavily pregnant with her second child. She was 14 when she first became pregnant. Her mother, Ruth Ewa, who struggles to earn a living, is her only support. The father, an older man, denied responsibility.
Nobody who's with him, the papa man go by, and I'm the man, I'm the baby. The near more about to talk, or the record doctor, baby, near neurophobia, or record doctor, or better than you. And me, the material points and your battle. I'm the man with a quarter baby.
Ya's dream of becoming a nurse is fading. The teacher's physical abuse left scars on her body, and she considered dropping out.
The more because of her margins and Jama Quena, the baby has I'm said, maybe black monument. Listen, my cousin say, member, ye be a school or found the before born, some question did you a meal? Found no boy, mammy like Messa Pie and I say, I'm the pie, cool, and
I pie a year cool.
When I chimpo.
Oh, by it. Yes, I know who to me, Busan, I said I didn't know what
it sounds like I hope Katam is a member who feel like Wakaya, my fin, or Yaya, my continue, or the pound like more paisan.
Adults who don't want to be adults, they want to be children, they want to misbehave, and Godwin, I see the best cameras and his voice has caught them again. Godwin, this is heartbreaking. It's heart-wrenching, actually, that you have adults who decide that we will not go for our age mates.
Yes.
We're looking for children to molest sexually.
Catch them young.
I don't understand. And I'm sure if we leave them in a ring with Helen, she will finish them.
Truly.
She will finish them even without thinking twice.
Yes.
What took you there? Where is this story plot from?
Yeah, so it's from Achim Asafo. It's in the eastern region.
Right.
More like 3-hour drive from here. And I went into the community to tell a story about illegal mining because it's really happening there a lot. Most of the youth, that's what they do for a living. But I realized that in every corner of the community, you would find a young girl who is pregnant. So I started asking questions. As journalists, we've seen others who have even told a lot of stories about teenage pregnancy for a very long time. So it wouldn't be a story that ordinarily would get my attention on a regular day. But I just felt it was really sad that in as much as there have been so much stories told and a lot done to bring that to a halt, you would still see people not really far from the capital having such experiences. And it will break your heart to know that teachers who are supposed to mentor and train students to have brighter futures are rather luring these girls.
Instead of teaching them, they're eating them.
Exactly.
Helen,
exactly.
How does this make you feel as a woman, knowing that teachers, not so long ago, I reported on this, Mr. Otabil Kopi JHS sodomized 19 of his students. 19 of his students. Sodomized all of them, one by one. Now the children are traumatized to go to school. And increasingly you find that people who are supposed to be helping the children to grow in the right way, form their thoughts and help them shape society, are the ones who are found on the wrong side.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel terrible because these are irreparable scars that, you have on the minds and hearts of these young ones. You send your wards to school because actually when your kids are at school, they have second parents, as it were. They're in the custody of people who are supposed to be ensuring their well-being. Full stop. No bend, no curve. And for Godwin to say that in this community, almost in every corner, there's a young girl with child. What kind of society are we building? What are the repercussions already on a population like ours? I mean, teenage mothers, are they well equipped? That is the knock-on effect. And often you'll find that those who are born out of this situation also fall into that same cycle. We're perpetrating a very dangerous cycle. For some Ghanaians, they almost see it as, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
The weight, the gravity, the implications completely lost on a certain
But
sect.
it is wrong.
It is completely wrong.
Totally wrong.
I mean, one lady had some wounds inflicted on her because she didn't want to, bend to the will of this teacher. So, I mean, where do you even go from there? There's intimidation also in the space. We can't treat this with kids' gloves. Serious sanctions.
I know that there's more to be seen this evening at 9 p.m.
Yes.
on TV3 and across our social media platforms. But what more can you share with us? Look, listening to some of the experiences of the victims, I'll put it that way, it doesn't sit well with me.
It doesn't.
What more can you share?
Yeah, sometimes you work on a story and you want to get the views of some of the resource persons who you believe can take up an action or can add their voice to the story to make it really strong. I contacted the Ghana Education Service hoping that I could get their PRO or the director to even speak, but that couldn't happen. And I must say that Dofsu did really well, because when I went there for an interview, they were touched immediately by the story and they gave me some of the officers. So it was more like a patrol team joining the Chibi Divisional Command. We went into the community and they launched investigation. They picked up the teacher and then they started doing their own investigations as we speak. So I was just hoping that I could get a lot of people in the educational sector to speak to this story, to give some sort of scare to some teachers out there who are involved in the act. Whilst we're on the morning show, we realized that a lot of people started calling, saying that it's not just happening there, it's happening elsewhere.
So this
people
is widespread, actually.
Absolutely. People are DMing me, telling me that you need to come to this community. It is happening. I know students who have given birth, gone back to school, and it happens with teachers. And once that happens, it is mostly with girls who are from poor backgrounds. So if that happens, they just go to the mother, give them some money, they promise to take care of the child
down and
the girl in school, and everything ends in there. So it's more like an open secret everywhere, where when it happens and then the teacher goes to do that, the family doesn't really seem to take the matter to heart and want to follow up with like reporting to the police.
How long? I mean, you mentioned earlier that you were doing this on the sideline of a bigger conversation around Galamsey illegal mining. How long did it take for you to curate this story?
It didn't really take much time. This should be one of the easiest pieces that I've worked on. So approximately a month and a half to work on the story. And once you get the people that you're looking at getting to tell the story really well, which is the victims, you already have the story. I went further to speaking to their parents and approached some of the teachers who were accused of doing the act. So in that process, I had to use investigative means because they wouldn't open up when they see a camera. I got them to
Don't
speak.
expose us.
Most of them denied.
Leave that one. We'll deal with that later from the newsroom.
Yes.
You tell me, these victims that you spoke with, how traumatized were they?
There was a girl that we just watched who has a scar on her arm. This girl kept mentioning that the teacher disturbed her from GHS 1 to 3. So that's like 3 years.
So constantly pestering her,
on her,
making sure that he gets what he wants.
Yes.
And he's still teaching.
Yes, he is. And the lady didn't give in. Subsequently, what the teacher has to do is to make her uncomfortable in class. So he will intentionally, according to the girl, he will intentionally ask her a question she wouldn't be able to answer. And that's where the teacher will take the opportunity to also punish the girl. So that wound I saw on her arm, and then I asked what happened. That was the explanation, and she gave to me. There are times the teacher will just teach, come wrap his hands around the lady's neck, touch the breast or even thighs. And she's not the only girl who is complaining.
She's a teacher in a
about
public
that.
school.
Yes, you speak to almost all the girls in the school, and they talk about the same thing with the same teacher. So it's just really bad. It got to an extent where he wanted to stop schooling. But he actually wrote the recent BEC. So I feel that should be an escape for her, but it shouldn't be happening.
Helen, you didn't go to a public school. Apart from your Western girls, you didn't go to a public school, so you had that be peche. But
the chief in school in Ghana.
Pardon, slow down.
Half and half.
Godwin. I'm going to put
the
my
accent,
question.
I've got to ask.
Okay. So you're asking because of the accent there. Bropholatic Helen. But this is a very serious matter.
It is.
I'm just trying to take you back into school and put you in the position where a teacher may have done this. What kind of reactions would have come, in terms of taking you out of danger? Because it does appear that in the public schools, the children are so vulnerable. Nobody seems to care about them.
So vulnerable. Listen, you'll be even surprised that something like this can happen in elite schools, as we call them, private schools, because you have unscrupulous persons in every sector.
Right.
And having unfettered access to their victims, that's the key. Once you drop off your kid at school, they could be the victims of coercion from a teacher, regardless of what school they go to. And let me tell you from personal experience that you can experience that. And sometimes it starts off as, oh, you are my favorite student, so you come for some extra lessons, or come for bread, come for this. And in the secondary schools, you get that a lot because now the students are on campus, they don't go home. There's even more access to the students. I feel like even growing up, there was one teacher that I used to side eye because what do you mean come for bread? Tomorrow come for this, come for that. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to, and luckily you
told you to come for bread.
Come for bread. Oh, come and see me after.
Was he offering you communion or what?
No, fresh bread, hot one. And in SHS, and that's even being older. You want some extra goodies. Ask any young female student. They'll tell you that they've had maybe some small brush with this kind of thing.
Do you think we protect our ladies well enough where we live in the society? Look, we start talking about 30% inclusion in governance. We talk this, affirmative action. From where I sit, I don't think we protect them enough.
It's cultural.
I don't know what you think.
It's cultural. Like Godwin said, once you placate the family with a bit of money, we also don't like to blow things out of proportion. We don't want to involve the authorities. It's very